Hi, hello, it's Cassie Felix, and I've been away for a little bit, but that's no reason to panic because I'm back now and I'll be making a bunch of videos since it's summertime and wonderful time for reading. So, to kind of celebrate my little bit of coming back to YouTube after like a week or so away, or possibly more, I'm here with another book review and book talk for everyone. And I'm really excited about this one because this book I did not expect to like because it just seemed different. This book I did not expect to like, but I did, and I want to talk about it. And if you want to talk about it, come and stay and let's talk and let's feel and let's everything. Okay, so the book that we're going to talk about today is Every Day by David Levithan. And I'm so excited. So let's get started. So I think with every video from now on, I'm going to have two sections unless it's like a special book and a special occasion. One section without spoilers and then one section with spoilers because we're going to be discussing the book. So like last time with my Looking for Alaska book talk, I will definitely give a signal to when it's time for the spoilers to pop into the video. But for now, stay and fear not, my friend, because there will be no spoilers in this part of the video. So let's talk about the book for a second, just a quick rundown. This book is about this character named A. They're not an actual person, like human being, like you and I. This person, A, shifts from body to body every day. The book describes it pretty well. On the back cover, the hardcover edition that I have, it reads, I wake up. Immediately I have to figure out who I am. It's not just the body, opening my eyes and discovering whether the skin on my arm is light or dark, whether my hair is long or short, whether I'm fat or thin, boy or girl, scarred or smooth. The body is the easiest thing to adjust to. If you're used to waking up in a new one every morning, it's the life, the context of the body that can be hard to grasp. Every day I'm someone else. I am myself, I know, I am myself. But I am also someone else. It has always been like this. So basically, A goes from body to body every day, and it's happened that way since he or she. You kind of get the feel that A is a guy. I don't know why, but it just kind of pops in. But you get the feel that A is a guy. So he pops to different bodies every day, and it's special conditions. Like he lives in Maryland, so it's only teenagers that are his age. They can be boy, girl, or a mix in between. So it's only the age of 16, which is his current age. But it's been happening all of his life. So when he was a baby, he would switch from baby to baby body. And when he was a kid and a toddler, and all the way up to now. And he doesn't know how long it's going to happen or if it's just always going to be like this. And he doesn't know if he's the only one out there. He assumes that he's the only one out there. But later on in the book, this is not a spoiler, it's just a part of the book. Later on in the book, he figures out that he might not be the only one. But because he guards his secret so carefully, he has no idea if he would be the only one. Because, I mean, he doesn't go around saying, hey, I switch bodies every day, because people would think he's crazy. And he has an incident with that. There's a character in the book that I will talk about later, Nathan Daldry. That's all I'm going to say is just his name. So I can't accidentally give anything away, because I hate people who spoil books with a burning passion. I hate them. It's just horrible. Stop that. But this character, Nathan Daldry, is a prominent character in the book. The book follows A as he goes from body to body, and he goes on all these different adventures and exploring the lives of people and how people are different, but they can also be the same. They have similarities. He finds this girl when he gets in the body of Justin, a 16-year-old boy who goes to this one high school, and he treats his girlfriend Rhiannon. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It looks like Rihanna, but it also looks like Rhiannon, but you know, it's a really pretty name. So her name is Rhiannon, and he falls in love with her. not just because he is Justin, but because he finds qualities in her that he likes. When he goes to body, he can access the person's memories, their knowledge, their skills. So, for example, he goes in bodies that speak different languages. So, for example, Portuguese and Spanish and just different languages. And all he has to do is access the body's memories, and he'll instantly know enough to start a conversation. And it's really interesting, his characteristics, I guess. The way that David Levithan writes out his character is actually really interesting. It's a pretty unique storyline, to be honest. But he falls in love with this girl, Rhiannon, and every day after that, he breaks all these rules that he sets for himself. So the book does not go by chapters, it goes by days. So the first day, I believe, is like 6,000. Oh no, it's 5,000. The book starts out when he comes into Justin's body, which is when he meets Rhiannon, and every day after that, he breaks all of his rules. Back to the subject of the rules. He does not interfere with the person's life. It says it on the front cover, which is pretty nice. On the inside cover, it lists his rules better than what I can from memory. So if you don't mind looking at me reading. Every morning, A wakes up in a different person's body, a different person's life. There's never any warning about where it will be or who it will be. A has made peace with that. He even established guidelines by which to live. Never get too attached, avoid being noticed, and do not interfere. So, do not get too attached is a rule that he breaks right away. For the next months, he goes after being in Justin's body, and he's just head over heels in love with this girl, Rhiannon. And he gets this connection with her, and he wants to be with her. He knows that he can't because he switches bodies every day, and he's all over the state. And even though Maryland isn't, like the size of Texas, for example, it would still be stressful for any relationship, especially one as special, with special circumstances like A's circumstances. But he goes out of his way after he meets Rhiannon to break all these rules just to see her. Anything that he can do to talk to this girl. The story just follows him trying to make a relationship with this girl. And it's really cute, and I don't want to give anything else away because I feel like I've given away too much. Oh gosh, I keep talking. Why do I keep talking? I just love books. Can you blame me? I think this will be the end of the spoiler-free part. I don't want to take any more time where I'm not talking about the book in depth. So if you liked all of the rambles that I said about this book, go to your local library or go buy it. Or here, I'll put it through the screen. There you go. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. There you go. And I think that'll be the end of the spoiler-free part. So if you have not read this book, go read it. Don't stick around and be spoiled, because this book honestly had me hanging on till the very last page, like literally the last page. So you have to go read it before you can listen to us talk about it and discuss it. And yeah, don't get spoiled. So we'll see anyone who wants to discuss this book in depth in just a moment. Okay, bye. Hi, and we're back. Okay, we're back to discuss this lovely book by David Levithan. He's a wonderful author. I'm a fan of a lot of his work. This is probably one of the most interesting books I've ever read, and let me tell you why. The book itself, it's not just about the two main characters. It doesn't constantly follow A and Rhiannon. Rhiannon isn't on every page, is what I'm trying to say. I like that. I don't want to be constantly bombarded by new character development and new story elements and new plot developments. I don't want that in a book. And that's what I get in a lot of books. And I don't like that. I like this book. I like this book because for a few chapters or a few days, it'll be talking about all these different people that he inhabits, all the bodies that he goes into that don't have anything to do with Rhiannon. The first few days before he starts visiting her. Those are really interesting. And Kelsia, I think, is the girl that was planning to commit suicide. And he did everything in his power to go out of his way to save her. And that had nothing to do with Rhiannon other than the fact that he needed advice from her on what to do. And I like that the book goes on different paths and then it comes back to the main character because that's really nice. But this book, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what my favorite part was. I can't really think. I think the parts with Nathan were actually my favorite. Like, it was just hilarious, let me tell you that right now. I think Nathan was actually a really interesting character, though, because just the parts again, it had nothing to do with Rhiannon. I like that, that it's not centered just around the love interest. Otherwise, it would just be another sappy teen romance novel with just a special twist and a few turns, and that's not interesting. And I would not expect something like that from David Levithan. And all the text posts I've seen from this book before I read it were so confusing. I was so confused, all the picture posts of this book, because I didn't know what was going on. And then I got the book from the library, and I read the back of it, and I thought, this doesn't really sound like, it sounds unique, but it sounds like it's trying to be unique. And if that's what this book sounds to you, and you didn't change your mind about it after reading it, please let me know in the comments below. Or hit me up on my Tumblr and let's talk about this, because this is a very interesting book and I like this book, but I want to know everyone's opinion on it, and because opinions are great. Can we just talk about some of the other parts of this book, though, that just how A kind of is a stalker in a way? He goes out of his way to go see Rhiannon, but like a lot. He hijacks people's lives. I don't think he really internalizes how awesome that would be, but how much of a big responsibility it is. You have control of a person's mind, a person's actions, a person's abilities, and their stuff, their cars. All the times that he went out to go see Rhiannon and a car, he could have crashed that car, he could have gotten in an accident, he could have gotten that person killed. And on a less serious note and a less important note, he could have gotten the car wrecked, or he could have gotten other people killed, all to see this girl who didn't even want to be with him at the times that he was usually doing this. So I think Rhiannon was actually a really interesting character. I liked the ending, but I feel like, I don't know, she seemed hesitant about the stuff at the end with the whole, I'm gonna give all my love for you to this other guy and then you can be with him instead of me. And she had protests, but not enough. It wasn't enough for me. I'm sorry. If she kept trying, which she kept trying to make it work with A. If you really cared that much and you tried that much and you put that much effort into trying to make it work, why are you just giving up? I mean, I know that you have to settle because eventually, there was no way that they were going to make that work. And eventually she asked to say, okay, this is it. This is going to be the end now. I can't do this anymore. I have to let it go. But did she really have to let go that easily? It didn't sit well with me. But most of Rhiannon's character I liked because she actually was like trying to get him to do responsible things, like not hijacking people's vehicles to go see her when they're like 2 hours apart from each other or 3 hours apart. Just the relationship actually between A and Rhiannon. I actually thought, excuse me, I actually thought it was really cute, and just the way that they tried so hard to make it work. I really thought that they would end up together, and I was really upset when they didn't, and it just made me so sad. I wanted them to be together, and I wanted them to make it work, because I honestly thought they would have been a great couple. Rhiannon had some trouble with understanding and getting over it at first, but I really thought that after a while she would have come around. Another thing quickly to discuss is the whole scene with that Reverend Poole guy. Am I the only one that kind of like died at that moment? It was just so weird. Like all of a sudden he's just like, oh yeah, sit down, let's talk. And then he's like, you're not the only one out there. No one will believe you. All this creepy stuff. Like, get the holy water, get the salt circle. Oh gosh. Some supernatural stuff coming up in here. It was horribly weird, but it was wonderfully weird also. That was the point in time I actually thought, hey, maybe, hey, maybe A and Rhiannon can be together. And at the end, what really made me kind of want to wash out any feelings of discontent with A's character was the fact that he weighed his options very carefully. And no matter how much he loved her, he just couldn't deal with the fact that it'd be someone else's life. He wouldn't get his own individual body, his own individual life. And I like that he weighed his options so carefully. He's like, okay, the ending part, goodness, let me find it. The part of the book that really made me respect his character, what I was just talking about, was, if you don't mind me reading to you again, I'm so sorry. I had to ask Poole if it was really possible. I had to ask him if he could really teach me. He promised he could. He told me we would work together. There was no hesitation, no warning, no acknowledgement of the lives we would be destroying. That's when I knew for sure I had to run away. Ugh. I want to not like A because he's a stalker in a way. But I mean, he just cares. And, you know, people in his position, other people in his position, would completely take advantage of it and would say, hey, you know, they would make up some rationalization to make it seem like they deserve to be with the person that they're staying for and that the person whose life they're destroying deserves it. And I like that A didn't do that. And he gave up his true love to protect any person that he might have been condemning or damning to this horrible life that he has. And in a way, it's not really a horrible life. There's paragraphs in it where he talks to Rhiannon and says, you know, I may not have my own individual life, but I have lived and I've experienced things and I've seen things. And I like that he stresses that just because he doesn't have his own individual body and his own individual everything, it doesn't mean that he hasn't had a nice, you know, semi-full life. I just kind of feel bad for his character. Maybe that's why I'm not really crazy about the book. I don't like characters that I feel bad for. Sympathizing with a character is one, but just straight up feeling pity and just feeling bad for them doesn't really sit well with me. I don't like characters like that. But most of it, I respect that. I like that he respected people's wishes for the most part. Like with that Calcia girl, he said, you know, I have to stop her, but I mean, what if she's just gonna do it anyway, even if I do try to get her help and all that stuff? And he was really trying to work for the greater good, but in the same way, at the same time, he's trying to respect what she really wants and feels. Because again, he can assess and he has understanding to what she's feeling and what she sees. And you know, the entire chapter he's talking about how much of an effort it is to do things, just like it was an effort for him to move around and do things when he was the really overweight character. But this time it's not because of a physical thing like weight, for example. It's because of a mental illness, which I thought that it was really nice that he understood that. He's been in the bodies of people suffering from depression before, and he knows how, in a way, to understand it and cope with it, and he knows that he has to just get them through the day. And he was just trying to help, and I like that. I respect that he tried to help, but at the same time, he wanted to respect her wishes. I like that, and I respect that. I think I would rate this book, I think I'd rate it like a 4 out of 5. Now, I'm a harsh critic with certain novels. I don't know why. I shouldn't be criticizing other people's work when I can't write something this nice. I feel horrible. But I mean, this is a book review, and this is a book talk, and this is how I feel about this book. I'm not like that with a lot of books. With this book, I think I would give it a 4 out of 5, just because characters seeming, in a way, they seem realistic, because again, love can make you do crazy things, but I don't know, it's an indescribable thing, and that's a horrible thing to say when I'm giving a book review. I know. The ending is probably what left me hung up too. I don't know. Endings don't sit well with me. If you watched my Looking for Alaska video, you can tell that right away. Alright, I'm gonna end this here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening and discussing. I want to try to upload 2 to 3 times a week on this channel. I'm in summer currently. I don't have school, so I have a stack like this big of books. Can't really see. It's a big stack though of books. I have about 10 books in my room, and I'm really excited. The books include Divergent and Catch-22 and The Letters of Abelard and Heloise, and I'm really excited to read those books and share them with you guys and share what I thought and all that good stuff. As always, I hope you have a wonderful adventure. I hope you read many books, and remember, don't judge a book by its cover or spine, because you'd never believe the awesome sauce inside. Alright, see you guys till next time. Bye!